So we're here in New York City, and to the side of me is the World Falun Dafa Day Parade. So it's been 29 years since the practice of Falun Dafa was introduced to the public, and they actually couldn't hold this parade last year due to COVID restrictions. This year, now that things are opening up, it's great to see that things are starting to return back to the way they were. Now, we're still in a pandemic, and there are many stories about how this practice that focuses on truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, and also has exercises, has helped people get through these difficult times. How did the practice help you during the lockdowns?
Well, being so deep in meditation, it helps you remain calm, keep clear-headed, keep focused. And with the grueling hours of working from home, it allowed me to balance out, not really be impacted too much by the lockdown, and also be more sympathetic and empathic to everyone who's going through the challenges right now.
I think Falun Dafa has helped me so much during the pandemic. I feel really fortunate. It gave me a lot of confidence in my own health. I don't have any fear that I would get sick, or at least I wouldn't get very sick. I might maybe get a runny nose, but I just have no fear. It's a very strong mental state of mind.
Sections of the parade exposed the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP's, persecution of Falun Gong practitioners. They are imprisoned, tortured, and killed in China. This is because the CCP, an atheist regime, considers the practice's popularity a threat to its rule. One spectator told me the parade is a testament to American freedom and that he'll fight for that freedom when he goes to the military.
So yeah, it's nice to see that when I do leave and I'm over there, this is what I'll be fighting for, this kind of freedom right here.
I agree with what they're doing then. I didn't know what it was, but if it's for equality and, them taking a stand for what they believe in, then we respect it.
It's nice to see a peaceful protest about something that is a major problem.
Republican and Democratic lawmakers in different states are recognizing this year's World Falun Dafa Day, and some are also condemning the CCP's persecution. Miguel Moreno, NTD News, New York.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Wednesday released the State Department's report on international religious freedom. Blinken also announced a visa ban on a Chinese official and his family for persecuting practitioners of the spiritual discipline Falun Gong.
The State Department reports annually on religious freedom around the world. Secretary Antony Blinken hit on several key countries, including China.
And China broadly criminalizes religious expression and continues to commit crimes against humanity and genocide against Muslim Uyghurs and members of other religious and ethnic minority groups.
The report's China section is 136 pages. It details China's persecution of a range of religions, including the spiritual practice Falun Gong. Blinken announced new sanctions on a Chinese official who previously headed Chengdu's 610 office. That's the communist regime's agency solely dedicated to persecuting Falun Gong practitioners.
Today, I'm announcing the designation of Yu Wei, former office director of the so-called Central Leading Group Preventing and Dealing with Heretical Religions of Chengdu, for his involvement in gross violations of human rights, namely the arbitrary detention of Falun Gong practitioners.
Yu Hui and his family can no longer enter the United States. Former Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Sam Brownback, says this sends a strong signal to China.
It sends them the signal that we're not going to let them get away with this war on faith.
I think this sends a strong signal to those CCP officials in China that the persecution of Falun Gong is not only illegal, it will be penalized internationally, and the international society is watching.
The State Department cites data from Minghui, a U.S.-based website dedicated to reporting on this persecution. The government report says Chinese police arrested over 6,600 Falun Gong practitioners and harassed more than 8,500 practitioners in 2020 for refusing to renounce their faith, compared with 2019, which saw over 6,100 arrested and 3,500 harassed. 83 individuals also died due to persecution. The report also quotes some NGO reports on organ harvesting in China, including the China Tribunal's judgment after an independent inquiry. The tribunal documented evidence of what they concluded is a decades-long and ongoing state-run program of forced organ harvesting from prisoners of conscience, mainly Falun Gong practitioners.
Now we've got credible findings by other entities of organ harvesting happening to Falun Gong members. And these are by outside groups that have reviewed the evidence and said, yes, this is taking place.
The U.S. has designated China a country of particular concern since 1999 under the International Religious Freedom Act for having engaged in or tolerated particularly severe violations of religious freedom.
A group of House Republicans introduced 2 bills targeting critical race theory on Wednesday. The bills would prohibit using federal funds to teach or promote critical race theory in schools and federal government workplaces.
North Carolina Congressman Dan Bishop led dozens of House Republican lawmakers in introducing the 2 bills on Wednesday. The first bill is the Combating Racist Training in the Military Act. Senator Tom Cotton introduced a similar bill in the Senate. This bill prohibits the U.S. military from using materials to promote critical race theory. The other bill, the Stop CRT Act, is more comprehensive. If passed, this bill will ban any federal funds from promoting the theory anywhere. Congressman Bishop announced the bills at Wednesday's press conference on Capitol Hill.
For the sake of our children's future, we must stop this effort to cancel the truth of our founding and our country. States around the country, legislatures are undertaking this effort.
Critical race theory has been heavily promoted throughout schools, corporations, government offices, and Hollywood in recent years. In September 2020, former President Trump signed an executive order banning the federal government from using critical race theory-based training materials. President Biden revoked this executive order as soon as he took office.
We are the United States of America, not the divided states of America. This is federal tax dollars, the American workers' tax dollars that are going to fund this agenda. We have teachers' unions that are destroying our children's education and future because of their woke agenda, and someone needs to put a stop to it, and that's exactly what we're here to do.
According to Congressman Bishop, about 70 lawmakers have co-sponsored the bills at this point.
A Russian-speaking ransomware group released over 20 D.C. police officers' personal records. This group hacked the D.C. Police Department in April and asked for $4 million. 22 officers' personal information was published, such as social security numbers, psychological assessment results, fingerprints, driver's licenses, as well as residential, financial, and marriage histories. The gang also released screenshots showing that the police department countered with an offer of $100,000. The group said it would release all the stolen data if the department doesn't raise the price. That includes the identities of confidential informants.
Don't miss out on important news. Our videos are being deleted. So if you don't want to be cut off from honest news, take a moment to sign up for our newsletter at newsletter.ntd.com so you don't lose access to NTD. Go to newsletter.ntd.com to sign up for our evening newsletter.